But you know what I mean when you're talking about gender imbalance, and people look at it sometimes as, well, those feminists look out.
Yes.
You know, it's not about gender balance. The women have everything and the men have everything, and these women don't like men. That's not it.
No, no,
Take that off the
not
table. That's old, old, old.
And in fact, there's all this research that shows that the capacity of any group to come up with a good solution is more about the diversity of the group than it is about the intelligence of the members of the group. And so we have intractable, complex problems, and if we're leaving the analysis and interpretation of those problems solely up to 48% of the population, especially the 48% of the population who don't ask for directions, just saying, just saying, then we could have better solutions if we were encompassing not only women's voices, but more diverse voices generally.
I was thinking if a female prime minister, a Canadian female prime minister, was in China, would human rights be higher up the agenda? Not that women aren't interested in business. Of course we are. And would there be any changes, or is that a conservative liberal thing? Because of the complexity of answering that question. Is it because Harper's a conservative, he's not as concerned about human rights? Probably not. You know, the liberal prime ministers, the male liberal prime ministers didn't go to China and bring up human rights at the business conference.
Yeah. It's hard to know, but you know, the project that I'm running, Informed Opinions, we've now trained 250 women. And many of those women have then taken their expertise and written commentary for the newspaper, op-eds. And when we do a word cloud of the issues that have come up in their op-eds, community, women, law, safety, protection, those are all words that occur frequently. And so it's not that men aren't concerned about those issues too, but if you're responsible for the welfare of children and the raising of kids and families, you know, you necessarily have a slightly different orientation.
Of course, and everyone was outraged at the recent honor killings in Toronto, the big trial and all of that, and almost everyone I know, male, female, it wasn't a gender issue. But where were the women speaking out?
There were women
There
speaking
were women,
out,
but not enough. You know, the domestic abuse, the violence, the violence against women. I saw as many men speaking out as women.
I think
just as disgusted.
Yeah, I think part of the challenge is the religious aspect and the very notion that we call it honor killings, I think is a misnomer, and we should not even use the term because people think they're treading on somebody else's culture or religion by critiquing it, and clearly we need to get away from that.
Yeah, so not that. Keep it simple. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They're killing women.
Yeah.
For the wrong reasons.
Is there a good reason?
Is there a right reason? No, she says. So back to politics. Women represented in Parliament, in the legislature. So few, not too many in positions of power.
23%, I think it is. Yeah.
Some of that's not enough money to run. I understand that. Not the connections, getting the nomination, leaving the children.
Yeah, all of those things. All of those things. And, you know, frankly, once you get there, the appearance stakes are pretty brutal. There was a great column in the Montreal Gazette recently where Janet Bagnall, one of the columnists, was talking about watching Aung Yang, I always forget her name, the Burma.
Oh, Soo Young.
Soo Young
Kyi?
Yes.
Yes, I know who you mean.
Thank you.
Burma.
And
like
Hillary Clinton.
Won the Nobel Prize, I think. Yes.
And has the unpronounceable name.
Yes.
Anyway, she was watching Hillary Clinton and the Burmese leader, and she found herself critiquing the jacket Hillary Clinton was wearing and realizing that this is what we do with women in the public eye, is we hold themselves up to Angelina Jolie kind of standards, and we're distracted by their physical appearance.
Or their cleavage.
Or their cleavage, absolutely.
Our premier, as you know, went through that.
Yes.
And women were discussing it too. Should the premier wear a top where you can see some cleavage or not? Should she be wearing a smock? What's that about?
Well, you know, I think because women are under scrutiny for physical appearance reasons in ways that men are not, if you want to be taken seriously in business or in politics, it's just smart never to draw attention to your sexuality.
Why give them any fodder, truly? Truly. So it is, there is a dress for success, there's a dress for position, all of that. I often look at my friend Carol Taylor and think if she put her hat, her high heels, into the political ring, she'd just wipe the floor with most everyone.
Yes, she would.
So what does she know? And not specifically Carol, but women like Carol Taylor.
Well,
what is that about?
I don't know the answer to that question, but part of Carol Taylor as an example is, you know, she has chosen not to stay in politics for all sorts of great reasons, I'm sure. And ultimately, I think women tend to do that more often than men too. They weigh the consequences and the challenges and they say, okay, you know, do I still want to live that lifestyle given the other things in my life that I'm wanting to take care of?
Do you think younger women are more or less likely to jump into politics, to certainly more are going into law, and there's more female doctors and all of that, but to jump into politics, want to be on corporate boards, want to reach the top, want to run a giant timber business? I
think the role modeling is changing. So when you have Carol Taylor, Chancellor of SFU or Finance Minister, it allows young women growing up to look at that and say, oh, okay, that's something I could be, I could do. But in terms of politics, I think often women feel like they actually have to have 20 years of life experience, work experience, knowledge and understanding of how the world works before they offer themselves up for politics. And that's maybe not as much the case for young men who, you know, they've been a young liberal or a young conservative at university, they were engaged in student politics, and so they sort of seamlessly move into politics.
I understand. I was engaged in politics in high school and all my life, came from a political family, but never thought about running.
And why was that?
I think I just didn't want the flack.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, I just am not prepared for that.
We hear that
I believe in public service.
Yeah.
I am not prepared to scrap and fight like it appears.
No, I'm not going to do the elbows up into the corners.
No, I'm not. I just thought I'm not tough enough.
Yeah.
I'm tough enough, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very common reaction. And even when I'm talking to women about why they don't write newspaper commentary about an issue they know about, a lot of them will say, I don't want the negative flack and the flame out stuff that you get online from readers who...
We could talk all day, but we can't because we have chocolate waiting.
I know.
And you're in town for the Nonfiction Awards, the BC Creative Achievement. That's one of the best events going.
Yes,
truly.
It is. And it was a pleasure and a privilege to get to read those 130 books.
That's a tough job being on the jury.
It was a very tough job.
Very tough job.
Thank you, Fanny.
Nice to see you again. Shari Graydon from Informed Opinions.